Hello, Ignited Souls. So I have been chatting with High Priest Aaron and really wanting to understand more of about about his story and his life on the journey or the journey of the children of Israel. Of course, the journey into his transition into five, his transition. So basically, the transition we have seen has been from 22, being a master, number 22. And Aaron, the high priest, reminds us about this is correlating with all time. It's very crucial. And we are in 2020. He's also drawn the correlation with Jesus Christ and says it's the same story or it's the same process. And each individual needs to go through that process of breaking the eight, which is or the template, breaking of the template. And the template in this sense, of course, it's just like Moses. So Moses had a speech impediment, we heard, but he was also the template because everything was set around him, whether how he spoke or how he delivered or how he engaged with God, or everything was around Moses for the children of Israel. So they had to go through him in that sense, that template. And even when God spoke with Aaron and Moses, it was still directing his conversation as well with Moses. Moses was eight, just like when Mother Eve ate. It's the same eating or number eight. We see the same happens with the story of Jesus Christ, and they broke bread and they ate. I believe it said ate. I'm going to check this as well, but it says, when you have this, it is of my body, and it's of my the wine is the blood. Okay, so this is how we see the death of Christ, who Christ also saw or regarded himself as master. And this is in Luke, I think of chapter 22 or 20. And he regarded himself as master to Luke when he says, go and find the man with the pitcher. So 22 here is like that he's about to transit into 32 as the Christ, as Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ actually is seven. So, and just as we saw that mount where High Priest Aaron died on Mount Hor was actually coming to seven as well. So, oh, I've got, yeah. Okay, so the other thing that I felt we were going to concentrate on here is to see the that 32 correlates because we are letting go. We are letting go right now. We are letting go of old beliefs, old teachings that no longer serve us. Letting go. Letting go equaled, I'm trying to remember what it equaled. This was 33. And this is GO is this is 7 plus 6 is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. So this was 10. 33 as well. So we see letting, we have this double vibration. And of course this is where Mother Eve says, let there be light. So we are letting, and we see here that to let go is allowing to something to movement, allowing movement, just as it was said in the beginning, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. So we have this here. This would be 6, letting, and go is 4. But we see in the 13, to go in 13 is like the tube, because this is what I mean about number 13. Let's just look at it here, which is 7 plus 6, and this is 13. Number 13 is like it contains a lot. It's the death card. And there we see that death is not as we think, like something does not exist anymore. It does not exist in the way we had perceived it or the way we had thought it, but it still exists. So death, for instance, if a body was laid in the tomb, it wouldn't just remain as, it's something is happening, things are happening there. After a while, it's all, well, we don't really want to go into what we could imagine it would be like, but that's what really happens. So we see 13 is like a tube. And of course, this is where Christ, of course, had to let go on where he was 13, the 13th person at the table, number 3 as well. So letting go of the 13th person, then he dies and he goes into the 14th entity, if you like. And the 14th entity, this is where he becomes 32, and 3 plus 2 is 5, just as 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. Remember, he was from the generation of 14. So we see that just like Mother Eve. So 14 here is like, I'm getting the deeper understanding to 14 as being, of course, it's the two sets of gods, it's the 14 gods coming together. But until we work through the process of understanding the gods, or interacting with the gods, or knowing the gods, or reflecting the gods, we are still 14. But there needs to be that yeast, like you are kneading flour or baking a cake or something, and then of course the adding them together, when they come together they form 5. So wherever 5 comes into place, this is when we know we have found a key, as the word key also equals 5. Or we have found anchor, as the word anchor equals 5, because 5 can also just anchor as well. Or we have found home, or house, or chamber, as we have seen in 30, as chamber is 32, as pineal gland. So 5, all of those things, or kundalini, all those things happen with 5. But after that, it is like propelling us to become, to do, to have, to know, or to reflect. And so this is what 5 does. 5 is really like a key. So I'm very determined to try and get this into a short video, no longer than 20 minutes. This is so, High Priest Aaron, we are inviting you again because we have really relished on your deliciousness of the story that you are 22 as Aaron, and we also saw that you have transitioned into your son. So you were the father, and the father actually is 31. So 31 is a cycle. So once you have been fathered, you are actually oh, this is so delicious. Thank you. So once you are father, you are 31, and it means that you have to let go to the son. And this is why Jesus Christ said, "Oh Father, why hast thou forsaken me?" Oh my, this is so delicious. Thank you. Thank you, High Priest Aaron. This is so wonderful. So, Father is a cycle like the month, month. I don't know if it actually equals what it equals as well, but the month of 31 days. And let's just see what this is in numerical values as well. So this is 10, this is 20, 25. Of course it is, because this is 7, and 7 takes us back to 20, which is also death, which is rock, which is south, which is these are the things that 20, and of course when we do the numerical value for the word 20, it gives us 8. So we see this is Father had to let go, because whenever father lets go at the end of the month or whatever it is, the father becomes 8 and is a new template, hence the son Jesus Christ. Oh, this is absolutely so delicious. 8 and 8, when we do the numerical value for the word 8, it gives us 31 again. This is where the math does not, this is like long division, where you are really working with the numbers and it is reflecting itself. So we see 7 is actually 20. I don't really want to do all this. I want to do the but okay, High Priest Aaron is saying go along with it, and High Priest Aaron is saying do not rush it. This is good stuff. You do not want to rush it. Thank you. So 7, and he is reminding us why this is so, because Mother Eve is in everything. Mother Eve is found in everything. This is why the scripture says that God saw everything he did. He saw it was good. And of course, because everything, Mother Eve is in everything. Okay. So And we see that this gives us 20. We've done this several times, and 20 gives us 8. Of course, 8 gives us 31. And we are back here. This is Father. This is going back to, and month also seem like I say, it reminds me of mouth because it's the N. We just need to turn this N upside down, and it's actually mouth. So it's like Father goes through and is reflecting the mouth, which is mother. And hey, but we go through and it's like mother is being revealed in 7 to us in some way because she is the serpent and she is mouth. She is the one. She is the one who said, have God said that you shall not eat of the fruit and so on. So basically, there is a lot going on right here. So, and hence the 7 candlesticks as well with Moses. So, High Priest Aaron, do tell us about this trespass and whatever it is you can about these 5 sins. So, or 5 Okay, so High Priest Aaron is reminding us that 5 is correlating with the 5. These 5 offerings is like correlating with the number 5 as in Jesus or as in the son that had taken on the garment, Eliza, who also equals 32, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So all of these is like the offerings that are necessary to be made. So, okay, we'll just do this quickly, and we may have to come back to this. So, 2, 9, 5, 1, 1, 7, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so this is 10, this is 20, 26, plus 2 is 28. 28 is 10. Okay, and meat we have 5, 5, 1, 2. So this is 10, this is 13. Okay, and peace is, I think it's 7, but let's do this. 7, 5, 1, 3, 5. Okay, so this is 8, and 9, 14. 14 plus 7 is, or let's do it, 14 plus 7 is 21. So this is 21, so peace is free. Okay, and sin offering, this is 14, 15. 15, so this is 6. Okay, and burnt offering, which is 2, 9, 3, 5, 2. Okay, so this is 7 plus 3, 10, 19, 21. This is also 3. So there's something very very interesting. There's a pattern, or I was going to say, okay, meat is 4. Now, if we add these together, this is 5 plus 3, 8, and 6 is 14, 14, 15, 16, 17. So here we see this is 17, okay, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So the 5, okay, so this really takes us back to when I started doing videos. High Priest Aaron, this is really interesting. I must have some of my moringa. Okay, so I went, this is delicious, yes. So all this together we have 8, and this reminds me of doing these presentations in the early days of my presentations where I was able to understand that the mouth I need to do is to discover who we truly are. This is the journey. This requires the 5 offerings, if you like, the offerings unto God. So basically, like for trespass, we see 2 8s. This is really saying that the 2 templates where the gods have set their templates, because the second creation was another, we could say, had happened perhaps on the 8th day, I don't know, but two eights is like really the two twenties. When we do like 2020, we are in the year 2020, or whether because 20 is 8. And also if we did like the master number 22, it's two eights as well. So this is really like saying when two eights come together, they are the gods. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is showing us that the template has in it a new cycle. We are moving into a new cycle. This is where Mother Eve says, let us make man in our image after our likeness. This is on the 8th letter, or the 8th contract, or the 8th letting of Mother Eve, after saying, let there be light, let there be a firmament in the heavens, let there be waters, let there be lights in the heavens to give light in the earth and in the heavens, and so on. And those lettings actually it's the 8th one. So when it came to the 8th one, a new template was broken and had to be reformed. So this is why it is called trespass right here. And having 10, like we said earlier, and High Priest Aaron is reminding me as well, it really is like two people getting together, making love together, and it's almost like they trespass, which is not the ordinary thing to do. But in that, when we say the ordinary thing to do, but it's like so two people, they trespass from their own perimeter, their own body, and they move into another person's body. So this is what happens. You could say male and female, whether you will male or whatever, but you get together, and we are saying this is the opposites have come together, and this is why it is seen as the sin of trespass. The meat as well here. Oh, my battery is getting low. Okay, let's see. We have 15. This is another thing that is beautiful. The battery really shows us it's low on 15%. And this 15 actually is coincides with the middle of numbers 1 to 9, where 5 is showed or 6 is showed. So we can see this is where change happens. This is where one is realized that they have to recharge themselves, or they have to make a new they are to make something new, or do something new, or create something new, because this is also where 11 stands. 5 plus 6 in the, oh, I haven't got it here. So here, for instance, this is where 5 plus 6, so 15. 3 5s are 15. This is the 15%. When you are new, whenever you are in this position, you have to renew, you have to recharge, you have to birth something else or whatever. Or if you had 5 plus 6, there is 11, just like Jesus was 11. Then he has to go into this journey of finding himself again into a new realm, meaning it's time to, it is not you are new, but when you are new, you are moving into another realm, you are graduating, you are evolving, and that is what is happening. It's like a pyramid. It's like a pyramid. Okay, so this is what is happening here with, and let's get back to, I was talking about the Latins just a minute ago. This is where Mother Eve says, let there be light, and so on. And on the 8th Latin, which is where Mother Eve says, let us make man. Let us. This is different. We could see that let is 10, and the is 6. And every aspect of these entries here, every entry entails this 10 plus 6, which would be 7, which would be 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. And this tells us the importance of the number 7, that 7 is the catalyst here that has Mother Eve in the middle, and of course that equals 20, as in 2020. Everything is 2020. Now with us we have 31, which corresponds with Father, like I was doing a while ago, or mouth, or although mouth equals 32. 3 plus 2 is 5, and but we have like the month. So this is like the month, and this is why Christ said, like, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Because the Father has done the cycle. The cycle has ended, so the Son can take on the whole sonship or become the Father. Then it's like he's taken on the role. There's he's morphing. The Father is actually, or he is morphing into the Father. The Father has released and let go, and he's morphing into that. And that is the same that has happened according to High Priest Aaron. That's what has happened with him and his son. This is such a beautiful story, and it's really, now it shows me the story of perfect love. It's like a parent dying and for the child, and the child has not even acknowledged that that is what has happened. But when we say dying, it's like, from experience, like I now see that I carry so much of my mother's or parents' characteristics, and so I can see that I have morphed to some extent in their character, in their values, in their ways or behaviors and their features, and that is the morphosis that we are talking about. Okay, so what I just going to, before I complete this we see us is really a picture of the He that created. So, or the He that made man in his own image, after, well, he made he him and he them. This is just so funny. So this comes to 13, which is the mirror. So basically it's like he mirrors us. And this is why they're saying, like, you look to God, and you obviously, and God is 8. God is 8, but when we do the numerical value for the word 8, it is 31. So God is, oh, I better do this. Aaron is saying, you better do it. Just do it. Make man in your image after your likeness. So let us equals 31. And, I was saying, and he who created, the he equals 13. So we can see right here that 13 is the reflection. So he created us. He created us because he now is the 13, which is the tube. This is what I say, the incubator, and has everything and just entails everything. But he created in his image because he's of everything right here. And so the us, of course, has a cycle of 31 days. That's the cycle, the moon cycle. We could say it's 28 or whatever you want to say, but the month, we call it the month. So it allows for the mouth as well. Okay. And so 3 plus 1, and of course we see this also corresponds with Father. Father is 31. And what I was going to show is that when we do the numerical value, because God, this is what I was going to show, God, God, is 764. Adding this together is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So when we do the numerical value for the word 8, EIGHT, it's 59782. Adding this together is 17. That's 26. 31. 3 plus 1 is 4. So this is what God is allowing us to go through the cycle of seeing ourselves, reflecting ourselves. So God is actually 8. We see Father is 31. So when we never hear Christ saying, "Oh God, why hast thou forsaken me?" He says Father. But Father has completed the cycle. Father actually means a cycle here. This is why the priest takes on the gown and has the father. We call them father. Of course, we call our parents father as well, but they take on this gown and this long gown which carries the feminine cycle like a woman, because the woman carries the monthly cycle. So this is where the man emulates this behavior, if you like. Okay, he doesn't have a period, but he probably goes through a period in some way, but he goes through this cycle. And of course that was the role of High Priest Aaron. And High Priest Aaron is reminding us that he went through that cycle, and this is why as well he had all the bells and the pomegranate. Aaron, High Priest Aaron is saying that yes, they did have a period. That's what the pomegranates actually represented. It's funny that it's the cycle. The pomegranates were round and they were red, so it's like a woman. Okay, he says take that. Right. So this is very interesting here. So we are going to conclude on this one because we really want to make this reasonably short, but we really will have to come back to the peace offerings. So basically we have done this. We have added the offerings and we see that there are 8. Now 8 also in the story, according to High Priest Aaron, was representing Moses. So Moses was 8. So Moses, in fact, Moses was always the template which had to be broken. So by Aaron dying as well, which we see, this is another thing Aaron is saying. Yeah, so Aaron is saying he was 22, but he's saying do 20, TWENTY, and TWO, and 20 is, this is 26. So he's saying 20 is 8 here, and 2 is 13. So 13 is 4. That's 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, is 4. And 4 plus 8 is 12. So what Aaron is saying now is that there was like, it was time for a graduation for the children of Israel, so the 12 tribes. So his journey in what he had done and carrying of the tribes and carrying the oh, this is another thing he's saying. So the carrying was also representing like 12 hours of the day, and his son was carrying another 12 hours of the day. That makes so 24 hours of a day. So that formed wholeness as well. So 12 and 12, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6, and he's saying that 6 is the number of man in itself as well. So it's important to know that. So Aaron is saying, yeah, so we had to, it's important, so we look at his 22, how that shows up in that letting go, because it's important that we learn to let go, because the hours of the day would not have been completed if he hadn't had someone else taking that shift, so to speak. So there had to be a shift to say, to have a demarcation. Well, this is a 12-hour and there's another 12-hour. Say it's like sun setting or 6 to 6, and then there's another 6 to 6. There is a demarcation here. So this is what, and Aaron also draws our attention on that. This is also coinciding back to creation, when Mother Eve says, "Let there be light," and there was light. He also draws my attention on the text that says about that he was taken on Mount O. Mount O equals 20. Mount is 20. But it said he was taken on the mount, which is 20. Or he died on the mount. So he died on 20. The word died we saw was 22, but also death equals 20. So he died there. And Aaron is saying to remember, this is very important, which we have done in several presentation, but he says this is what when it said that he died there on the mount, which mount is 20, but he says and he died there, THERE. He says remember that dying there, this is why there's no death, because he says that whatever is there is also here, HERE. So he's still present. This is why he's here with us. And he is here. And her is also here, the feminine aspect, HER. And hair is there. And the, like in the beginning, is still there. So this is very important. That's why it says there is no death. And he is here with us. This is so delicious. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, High Priest Aaron. I love this. I love this. I hope you do too. And all I want now is my moringa. And I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found it delicious. I hope you will invite your friends, family, and everyone else to partake of this. We do try to make the videos shorter, but it is delicious. And High Priest Aaron just tells me just to take it easy, and it will happen when it happens. So I do thank you. Stay ignited.